Buongiorno tutti! Welcome to Calabria Dreaming. My name is Lily and I make videos about living in bella, beautiful Calabria. Today's video is all about how much it costs on average to live here in Calabria. I had so many emails of people asking this question, so I thought I would go ahead and just make a video for you guys. Before we get started, if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, please go ahead and do that. It really helps my channel grow, and I would love to share this hidden gem of the world with the rest of the world. So please help me get this message out there. So let's get into it. So before we get started, this video, these prices that I'm giving you are like the average, like what you need for basic necessity. You could go a lot more expensive than this and like do yacht life and live extravagant, and you could do a lot cheaper. Like if you were like backpacking it through Calabria, I'm sure you could, but this is just like your average cost of life for Calabrians here, how much it costs for us to rent and stuff like that, okay? So the first thing is rent, and it's kind of hard to find a contract or a lease that's for a year. We have a 4-year lease, so they have 4+4, 1+1, and then they have smaller leases for tourists. You can get residency if you have a lease for over a year, I believe it is, but it's hard to find that lease sometimes. So just want to point that out there. But it's anywhere between 250 euros and 700 euros a month. I have a friend who lives on the beach of Soverato, like right on the beach. It's 250 euros for a small 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. And she rents that up until July, because in July prices here go crazy, and a lot of times the beachfront apartments will be rented out for tourists. So 250 she pays, and then we pay 500 here, but we have people that pay 700 euros. You're not going to find very expensive properties here. Like there isn't a lot of luxury, and that goes for apartment rentals as well. Like maximum you could maybe find is an apartment for rent for like 1,500. They're not very many on the market. So the average range is between 250 euros and 700 euros per month for rent. The next thing I want to talk about is electricity. So electricity is definitely more expensive here in Italy than it is in the United States. And houses are graded based on their level of efficiency. So they have this like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So A is like the best house. It doesn't use a lot of electricity, like the wiring is done well. And some of the older houses had their electricity done like years ago, who knows when. And so they don't have a great electrical grid working over there. So you have to check the grade of the house to see how much you'll be spending. But anywhere between 50 euros and 150 euros a month. I run my air conditioner in the summer like crazy, like literally all day long, because it's so hot here. And I think our most expensive like electricity bill was 150 euros, but I was like ridiculous. I literally stayed in my bed for a month with the air conditioner on, just like trying to get out of the heat. So 50 to 150 euros per month. Gas. So a lot of houses are gas heated here, and you will buy bombolas. That's what they're called. You can buy little small gas tanks. We have a really big one that we have a truck come up and fill every couple of months, however many times we need him to come. And it can get very expensive. Our house is gas heated, and when we run our heaters full steam for days, we can burn through 300 euros a month to heat this house. So we use our electrical heaters to save money. But on average, you're gonna spend anywhere between 50 and 150 euros on gas a month. Gas is also quite expensive out here. So it's actually better to use a lot of your electrical stuff, like your air conditioner and stuff like that, if you have a high grade on your house. We have a grade A, so our efficiency here is really, really great. All right, so internet. A lot of people, for some reason, think that Calabria doesn't have internet. Calabria totally has internet. They have high-speed broadband, all that stuff that you have in the rest of the world. And it's really cheap here. It's between 25 and 50 euros a month. I don't know how in the States we paid so much more money for internet and phone. You'll see, because the next thing I want to talk about is the phone. Phones are so cheap here. It's 10 to 20 euros for me to have like unlimited internet all the time phone. In the States, I paid $100 a month. I don't know how that's possible, but yeah, it's cheap to have a cell phone here and internet. The next thing is food. So how much do you spend a month on food? It depends, right? This is a range of where you could be comfortable. So anywhere between 100 euros a month to 400 euros a month, depending on where you do your groceries. Like if you buy directly from farmers at markets and stuff, the produce is super, super cheap. If you go to like a grocery store, a lot of like the stuff that we take for granted is more expensive here. Like, I don't know, just random stuff. They can get very expensive if you go grocery shopping at the like more pricier corporate grocery stores. But if you buy directly from your farmers, you can get your eggs, your cheese, your everything you need, you can find from local farmers. So I highly recommend doing that. But we spend about $100, 100 euros a month, a week, excuse me, on groceries. But we're 3 people. We have a 4-year-old. He eats like a horse. I mean, it's a lot of food. We go through a lot of food. So it's probably the same as in the States. And then if you do have a car out here, you do have to factor in gas. Gas is $8 a gallon, and we drive a lot because we like to explore and we like to go places and we're always doing stuff. So you can expect to pay about 50 euros a week on gas, maybe more, maybe less, depending on the car that you have. So about 200 euros a month. So if you average all of this up, the range is going to be anywhere between 680 euros to about 1,700 euros a month. So if you got the 700 euro apartment and you paid 150 euros in gas and electricity and you got the most expensive of everything that I just said, it's about 1,700. So if anybody is out there that's about to retire and is getting this monthly income, you can live really, really good in Calabria. There's a few things I want to talk about renting here. So the first thing is, Calabria is very seasonal. So in the summer, July and August, it's the money-making season for Calabria, okay? This is where when all the tourists come, all the Lidos are open, all the restaurants are open, all the discos are open. It's crazy. Like all the hotels are open. Everybody's renting out apartments. It's very, very busy, and there's a million people that come here all at once. So rent prices go up in those 2 months. So when you do want to rent something here, make sure that it's for the full year, including those 2 months. A lot of times it's just like they'll just kick you out for the summer because those apartments will go for about 2,000 a week. In some places. So they get very pricey, especially if you're right on the beach. And then in the winter, everything dies here. Like it's total hibernation mode. Everything is closed and it's very hard to rent an apartment in the winter time. A lot of times people just rent out their apartment in the summer and then for the rest of the year, they got their money and they don't care. But so if you do want to find an apartment for rent in the winter, you can definitely go through websites like Immobiliare, an agency. A lot of times those are going to be like the pricier ones. A lot of times you could just literally walk through an old village and see what's rent and talk to the people and do it yourself. But obviously an agency is going to be easier, but it's better deals if you go through just private people. And then the last thing I also wanted to say too is healthcare here doesn't cost anything if you have residency. So if you buy a house here and you can get residency, or if you lease a house here for over a year, I believe it is, you can get residency, your healthcare is free and it's amazing. I mean, the hospitals here are definitely a little bit back in time, and it is a little bit more, it's not as advanced as like Northern Italy. You know, the hospitals here are a little bit shocking sometimes, but they do have good basic healthcare, and you can always get private healthcare, which costs really nothing. So healthcare is free here, and including dentistry, which is kind of amazing. The next thing I want to talk about is work is very hard to come by here. So it's very important that if you do want to move to Calabria and you want to make 2,000 euros a month, that either you work online, or actually I'm going to make a video about this. I want to make a video for you guys about how we make money because we do a million different things to support ourselves out here. So I want to make a video on that. But it is hard to find work out here. So if you speak Italian, it's a little easier, but it is very, very hard to find work out here. So just keep that in mind. These prices seem cheap to us coming from our Western salaries, but when you get here, unless you have work or you're independently wealthy, it can be quite hard to make 2,000 euros because the industry here there is none. Like there's tourist industry for 2 months and then nothing for the rest of the year. So speak Italian if you want to find a job here. That's like the first step. And yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Let me know if you have any other questions about living expenses. And then also I wanted to announce something very exciting. We have been doing like family detective work. So we had a friend of ours who wanted us to look into his family name, and we love doing that. So if there's anybody out there that wants us to like investigate your family, where you're from, go to the town, talk to people, see if they know your nonna. If anybody wants us to do that, we love doing that. There is a charge for that. There is a small fee for that, obviously, because we're going to be putting in work, but it's so much fun to do. So if you guys have family from Calabria and you're curious about your history here, let us know. We would love to help you out. So anyways, that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching.